Good morning and welcome back to Learn Photography with Riccardo. This is the second attempt that I do in order to talk about photography in a different language than mine. So let's speak in English and talk about photography. And today, instead talking about something very technical, I want to discuss about some funny things that I saw during the International Photography Festival in Arles. So in Arles, in south of France, every year you have a different artist and a lot of different exposition during all the summer that show to you the state of art of photography in the world. And especially in Arles, you have two different expositions. The first exposition is called La Voix Off. It means the things that are outside the exposition, and are all the young artists and young talents that want to show their project, not being part of the official exposition. While you have the second exposition, that is the official one, it's called Les Rencontres d'Arles. And in this exposition you have a lot of very talented and confirmed photographers that they show their works, especially they can make some retrospectives and everything. So I was lucky that and I had the occasion to expose one of my photos during the Way Off, and I had the occasion last week to go there and see what's happening in this kind of environment. I can say that there is a lot of different people interested to what is happening, and interested to know each other in order to exchange, to be inspired by the other. And it was very, very interesting, especially the Way Off, where people go a little bit beyond the scheme and express themselves in a different way than the official way. I was there in the exposition using with a gallery that is called Il Mostro, created by Luciano Corvaglia and the Tevere Art Gallery in Rome, and with a lot of new and very talented photographers, where we showed our photo that were already exposed in Rome during one of the expositions created by the Tevere Art Gallery. But what it is, the main important things and the funny things that I saw is that when you are there, you are in the world of photography and you have a lot of funny things. So the first things that I realized, photographer likes to dress very funny. Especially they like to express their artistic side, and they have this hat and usually some shoes that very, very strange. And you can understand from very far away that this guy is a photographer, because he's dressing like a real photographer. He's dressing like a bohemian, we can say here in France. And it was very funny because it looks like there was a dress code for the photographer. The second thing that I realized is that photographer goes to exposition of photographer in order to make photo that would like to expose on the next exposition. It was very funny because you are a lot of people that are there, a lot of photographers, so people that loves photography with their camera, and the camera they went to shoot everything that it can happen there. Imagine that you have a lot of artistic exposition with a lot of people, especially if you are a street photographer. You can go there and shoot every single person passing in front of you, and you have beautiful images because you have graphical, you have photos everywhere, you have people in front photography. And I was joking that there was a sort of little inception where you can go and make a photo of a guy taking a photo of a photo. So it was very funny for me to think about it. This was a photographic inception. The third thing that I realized is that I was the only one with the Nikon. So in the world of photography there is always two different big school. There is the people that loves Nikon and the people that loves Canon. And everyone is in internet, in everywhere, is discussing about what is the best between Nikon and Canon. And you go there, you are always thinking that your camera should be the biggest camera in the world. You have to bring your camera with your big lenses in order to show that you are a photographer. And maybe this is a beginner error from my side. I was bringing this because I have only this. I have not invested in any other camera, but I always had the feeling that if you see a good big camera, people are more involved, are more expert on it. And while you work on it, you find a lot of people having only mirrorless camera. So this very small camera with very high quality, but the small camera that you can see in the hands of every Japanese tourist in the world. So you imagine that people are there, are photographers, they are very, very skilled, and they are bringing with them the smallest camera that they have, because maybe they don't want to bring some load, and because the camera like the Canon or the Nikon are very heavy, while you have a mirrorless camera is very small and you can go wherever you want with a not so big space in your backpack. You can bring with you everywhere. But it looks like that if you have a Nikon or a Canon, while they are very professional camera, you are not so professional, because you are the only things that you need to do photos. So if you want to be a professional photographer and looks like a professional photographer, you should have a small mirrorless camera, and especially if more is vintage, more is interesting for you to have the good style of a photographer in Arles. The last things that I saw is that you had this year you have virtual reality. Usually you have exposition that are normally made like the classic one. You have the picture exposed and printed and put on the wall where you can check this photo. And now this year with the Not All You exposition, and there was also a VR festival where you can go and participate to some exhibition only using virtual reality. For sure it's not the same impression, but it was very, very cool. So let's talk about it, because maybe you have this particular moment is a moment where technology is going in a different way. You have people that goes back to the analogic camera, and you have people that goes to the virtual reality machine. So it was a very big contrast that it was very interesting. So for today I showed you the analysis that I did of the Arles, the Rencontre d'Arles, this exhibition in Arles. Let me know please if you like it. Send me a comment on Riccardo Petica Photo on Facebook, or contact me on Telegram, it's the same, Riccardo Petica Photo. And please let me know if you like to speak and to listen photography in English while I'm doing the same project in Italian. Maybe I can switch to a different project and change language. So thank you for listening. I hope that you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, share with your friend this podcast, and see you on the next episode of Learn Photography with Riccardo.